Dear learners, welcome to CCE LMS portal. Myself Sriranjini Tallam, lecturer in zoology, DK Government College for Women, Autonomous Nellore. In this video lesson, we are learning about the topic hatchery design, which comes under the syllabus of aquaculture technology, and it is useful for aquaculture technology students. First, let us know about learning outcomes of this video lesson. By the end of this video lesson, students can learn and understand about hatchery introduction, and then student will know about importance of hatchery and the history of hatchery development. Students then understand about important considerations in design and construction of hatchery like site selection and etc. And finally, student will learn and can differentiate about different types of carp hatcheries, their merits and demerits. Let us understand about the introduction of hatchery. Quality fish seed is the basic requirement for fish farming and aquaculture practice. Demand for fish seed has increased enormously in the recent past due to adaptation of scientifically controlled fish culture practices in ponds. Seed production is the initial phase of any aquaculture enterprise or practice. Hatchery is the place where eggs are hatched and incubated. Hatcheries are the infrastructure for the mass production of fish seed or post larvae in the case of shrimp, and it is the crucial for development of aquaculture practice and industry. Students, let us see why hatcheries are needed. Hatcheries for seed production is needed because riverine spawn collection is decreased recently due to species specific unavailability and growing pollution of rivers. Low quality of seed is collected from natural sources like rivers and ponds. Collected seed is mixed up with different species spawn. We cannot get species specific availability of spawn as said earlier. Naturally collected spawn hatching rate is very low, and that is collected seed is mixed up with different species. Transportation of naturally collected spawn is leading to high mortality. Because of all these reasons, there is so much need of hatcheries for fishes especially. Let us learn about the importance of hatchery. A fish hatchery is a place for artificial breeding, hatching and rearing through early life stages of animals, finfish and shellfish in particular. Production of fish seed is done nowadays commercially with the help of hatcheries. Hatcheries produce larval and juvenile fish, shellfish and crustaceans to support the aquaculture industry, where they are transferred to on-growing systems such as fish farms to reach harvest size. Fish seed production in out of season can be done with the help of hatcheries. Genetic improvements can be done, especially we can produce transgenic salmons, tilapia like gift tilapia with improved size and quality through with the help of hatcheries. With the help of hatcheries, wild collection of spawn can be reduced to a greater extent. Let us learn about history of hatcheries. For a long time, the major source of fish seed was wild collection from the natural sources. Seed was collected from the natural water sources after breeding season, and it was used as a stocking material for growing the fishes. 2400 years ago, Fan Li in China developed natural spawning for common carp. Brazil was the first country to develop the technique of hypophysation or artificial or induced breeding. The pioneering success in induced breeding of major carps was achieved by Dr. Hiralal Choudhury and Professor Al-Kuni on the 10th July 1957. The circular model hatchery was first developed in China during 1960, which could provide a suitable environment for induced breeding and egg incubation operation. In India, induced breeding of Chinese carps was successful done in 1962 by employing a similar technique of Chowdhury and Sukumaran. In India, the seed revolution of aquaculture was done by Dwivedi and Zaidi in 1983. Important considerations in design and construction of hatchery. The selection of suitable site for a hatchery is very important for its successful operation. Brood fish availability is an important consideration. Hatchery should be established in area where water quality and quantity is adequate, and the place should have disposal facility also. And overall, the hatchery construction should be done in a such way that it is economical for the farmer. Target of production, that is how much production of fish should be done, is to be considered previously. Operating cost including labor should be minimized for the profit. Stress should be minimalized and disease prevention care should be taken. So all these are the important considerations in design and construction of hatchery which must be kept in view before itself. Site selection is very important for successful operation of hatchery. Demand of fish seed is locality is to be considered. Some of the factors of site selection to be considered for hatcheries are demand of fish seed in the locality, and water quality and quantity should be necessary criteria. Surface waters from the streams, rivers, lakes and open sea may be relatively less expensive to utilize. Supply of water by gravity reduces the operational costs. Soil should be impervious to prevent the water loss, like clay, silty clay and loamy soil should be preferred. The site of the hatchery should be unsuitable for agriculture but suitable for aquaculture. The site of the hatchery should be free from flooding and they should be easily accessible for transport facilities. Labor cost should be low and easily available at the site of the hatchery, and there should be an access to electricity, and the site should have a scope for integration with the agriculture. So overall all these factors of the site selection are to be considered and they are important in establishing a fish hatchery. Let us learn about essential components of hatchery. There should be a overhead tank. Water requirement for hatchery operation is supplied from the overhead tank. Second one, brood fish ponds or tanks. In this, grow and hold adult fish is to be taken care of. And hatchery facility should be there for fish spawning and hatching and caring of hatchlings and post-larval stages. You can see these are the essential components of the hatchery in these images. And tanks are nursery ponds for rearing post larvae to fry stages. These are the, in this image you can see these are the nursery ponds. And last, fifth one is rearing ponds or tanks for growing fry to fingerlings, and they should be ready for marketing. So these are the, in this image you can see these are the rearing ponds. So all these are the basic components of the hatchery. Let us learn about different types of hatcheries and their merits and demerits. Many types of hatcheries have been established so far for hatching fish eggs. The main aim of the hatcheries is to improve the percentage of hatching of eggs. Let us see the basic type of the hatchery, that is the first one, earthen pot hatchery. This is the oldest method adopted for hatching. This earthen pot hatchery, they are locally made earthen pots are used for hatching in this type. The collected eggs are kept in pots and hatching takes place inside the pot. The fluctuations of temperature and pH are moderate. This method is not very popular nowadays, and the percentage of hatching of eggs is about 40%. You can see in this image, this is the earthen pot used in rural India previously. So here the earthen pots are used for hatching and they are placed at the different levels, and collected eggs are placed in these pots and hatching occurs inside the pots. So here the fluctuations of temperature and pH are moderate and the hatching percentage is around 40%. Let us learn about hatching HEPAs. The hatching HEPAs are extensively used. They are double cloth hatching HEPAs. The HEPA is fixed in the water with the help of bamboo poles in shallow waters. This HEPA is double walled with an outer wall made up of either thin or coarse muslin cloth and an inner wall made up of round mesh mosquito netting cloth. The most frequently used cloth for hatching HEPA is 2 into 1 into 1 meter in size for the outer one, and the inner wall size is 1.75 into 0.75 into zero point 0.9 m. The water depth is maintained around 30 centimeter. These HEPAs are arranged in a series. 75,000 to 1 lakh eggs are kept in one HEPA inside the inner wall of hatching. After hatching, the hatchlings enter into outer HEPA through the mosquito net cloth, leaving the egg shells, the spoiled eggs and the dead eggs. After hatching, the inner HEPA is removed. The hatchlings in the outer HEPA are kept for a period of 40 hours till the yolk sac is observed. The percentage of hatching in these hatching HEPAs is 45 to 50%. In this image you can see this is the double cloth hatching HEPA which is extensively used by the aquaculture farmers. Hatching HEPA, here also in this image we can see this is the outer mesh and this is the inner mesh. So from one side it can be seen like this. So we can see here the eggs are seen, these are the larvae, and this is the outer HEPA and this is the inner HEPA. Students, let us learn about advantages and disadvantages of hatching HEPA. Advantages: the cost of HEPAs are very less and the eggs are away from the earth, so there will be less mortality of the eggs. Disadvantages: pores of HEPA get clogged due to the silt and the short life period of 2 years is there, and hatching percentage is only up to 40 to 50%. In this image you can see a farmer holding the HEPAs in the water for the fish seed production. Let us learn about the third type of hatchery, floating HEPA. Floating HEPAs are an improvement over the conventional HEPAs. These are designed to cope with the rise and fall in the water level. These can be fixed even in rocky areas without the support or bamboo poles. That is the main character of this floating HEPA. This helps in better exchange of water and aeration. It is similar to a conventional HEPA, but it is mounted on frames which are made up of polythene or aluminium pipes. Floats are fixed to the HEPA for floating. It is tied to the fixed objects with long ropes so that it will not be carried away by the water current. It is collapsible and can be assembled very easily. The size of outer HEPA is 2 into 1 into 1 m and that of the inner one is 1.75 into 0.75 into zero point 0.5 m. The hatching percentage is more than the HEPAs, conventional HEPAs, that is 50 to 70%. Silt may get deposited in the HEPA which cause mortality of the spawn. It may be disposition due to the movement of water and rearranging is time consuming. The hatching rate is not high. So there are some disadvantages in the floating HEPA. Let us learn about glass jar hatchery. The credit of developing India's first transparent hatching device in which The developing eggs can be watched at eye level goes to Dr. Bhaumik, CIFRI, Bharakpur, West Bengal. The glass jar hatchery overcomes the problem of high mortality and recurrent expenditure of hatching HEPA. In this system, the hatching is automatically transferred to storage HEPA spannery within the hatching building itself. The main components of Baumik's glass jar hatchery are an overhead tank, fish breeding tank, incubation and hatching jar, and a spannery to hold the newly hatched spawn. The capacity of the overhead tank is 5000 liter and that of the capacity of overhead tank is 5000 liters, which can supply water at 1 liter per minute for 20 to 40 jars. The capacity of each jar is 6.3 liters. The spannery comprises of two cement tanks 1.8 into 0.9 into 0.9 meter each, which can hold a nylon HEPA measuring 1.65 into 0.8 into 1 meter projected above the tank and hence deeper the tank and has an overhead shower for water spray. Each jar can accommodate about 50,000 water hardened and swollen eggs at a time. The water flow rate is maintained at 600 to 800 ml per minute. This was earlier a very successful system, but hatchery jars are now obtained against orders only. Let us discuss about merits and demerits. Merits. This glass jar hatchery is adaptable for large scale operation. Eggs can be viewed easily, water is less required, and simple design and less expensive water quality can be controlled. Coming to demerits, we have need constant vigil and care. They can be opaque, need continuously need replacement. As they are made up of glass, the glass can be broken down easily. Non-breakable is like FRP material is expensive. So these are the merits and demerits of glass jar hatchery. In this image you can see the glass jar hatcheries used in aqua industry. The glass jar around 6.3 liters capacity are set up vertically. The jars are open at the top here and gradually tapering towards bottom. The water is supplied from the taps through the bottom of the jars. The taps receive the required supply and pressure of water from the overhead storage tank. The top of the jar is fitted with a ring galvanized iron having a spout which serves as an outlet. A jar holds 6.3 liters of water and can accommodate around 50,000 swollen eggs of major carps. Let us learn about transparent polythene hatchery. This hatchery is identical to Baumik's glass jar hatchery except that breakable hatching jars are replaced by transparent polythene containers. Each jar is provided with an inlet pipe, an outlet pipe, and escape of eggs from the jars is further prevented by the net. Each jar is 27 centimeters in height and 10 centimeter in diameter, which can hold around 2 liters of water. The water on reaching the jar bottom is reflected upwards till it finds its exit located at the top of the jars. The water in a jar of this type develops greater churning and suspended eggs therein get better oxygen. In this image you can see indoor transparent jars used for hatching major carp eggs, which are made up of polythene jars. And in this image you can see outdoor fiberglass, that is translucent jars used for hatching major carp eggs. Each jar has its water supply inlet pipe going down almost up to the jar bottom which is of concave type in hatcheries jars. The next hatchery we are learning is about low density polyethylene hatchery, commonly called as LDPE hatchery. S.N. Dwivedi, former director of Central Institute of Fisheries Education, Bombay, was instrumental in introducing LDPE, that is low density polyethylene hatchery material in fish hatcheries. This is higher version of vertical jar hatchery, we can say. This hatching unit is made up of LDPE, which is a molded plastic with no joints or welds. The major components of the hatchery include overhead tanks, cooling tower and compressors. This hatchery combines the beneficiary effects of both breeding and hatching facilities. Each vertical hatching jar is of capacity 40 liters and can hold zero point 0.2 to 0.25 million developing eggs. In this image you can see this is the LDPE hatchery and these are the hatching jars which are made up of a molded plastic, that is low density polyethylene material. Students, let us learn about very important hatchery, that is Chinese circular hatchery. Breeding and hatching devices of circular shape and are of Chinese origin are referred as Chinese type of carp hatcheries or eco hatchery. It is here that fish are bred, eggs hatched and hatchlings produced. These tanks are made up of brick or concrete or FRP, and basically they are circular and their diameter varies from 6 to 12 meter with a depth of 1 to 2 meters. The base of the tank is sloped towards the center where the central outlet is located. They are provided with water jets or inlets on the bottom or inner surface of the tank so as to provide a circular motion of water which results in better spawning and hatching than HEPA system. The components of the Chinese circular hatchery are anti-tank, fish breeding tanks, hatching tanks and larval holding tanks or spannery. In this picture you can see image of the circular hatcheries. So the first tank is anti-tank. The purpose is to hold temporarily selected brood fish and to acclimatize them prior to injection, and they are normally located inside the hatchery building. A 200 square meter anti-tank divided into two identical twins of 5 meter into 20 meter can hold 25 sets of brood fish comprising female to male ratio of 1:2, that is 75 specimens of fish. It is also used for stocking fry or fingerlings prior to sale and also for treatment of diseased or infected fry, fingerling and brood fish. Depending on the system adopted, the same breeding tank can serve as a hatching as well as larval rearing tank for about 3 days after hatching. The hatching tank can serve as a larval rearing tank also. Let us learn about the breeding tank. For the induced breeding of major carps, clean the breeding tank, fill it with clean water taken from a channel or well or release injected brooders up to 100 kg for spawning. Then provide water shower on the tank to maintain temperature and increase oxygen content. We should maintain a water flow rate of 200 to 250 liters per minute to create a riverine environment and stop water flow just before the fish starts spawning. After spawning, remove the brooders, disinfect them and transfer to a freshly prepared pond. Collect the developing eggs and incubate in the hatching tank. The working principle of hatching tank is more or less similar to that of breeding tank, excepting that it is slightly smaller, around 3.6 m diameter and 1 to 1.5 m deep, and it has two chambers, inner and outer chamber. The outer chamber is 3 to 6 meter diameter and inner chamber is 1 to 1.5 meter. The bottom of the outer chamber is provided with 15 to 20 water jets or inlets equidistant from each other to provide circular motion and to stimulate riverine environment. The circular wall that separates the outer chamber from the inner chamber is covered with a nylon screen of mesh size 1 by 80. The nylon screen allows the water to flow from the outer chamber to the inner chamber and prevent the escape of eggs and hatchlings. The water comes out from the inner chamber through a centrally placed vertical pipe. We have to maintain a water flow rate of 80 to 100 liter per minute to provide a circular motion of water in the outer chamber. Let us learn about the operation of Chinese circular hatchery. After cleaning tank and filling water, release about to 7 to 10 lakhs eggs per cube meter of water. Ensure that eggs keep bobbing up and down throughout the incubation period. The water flow should be such that the eggs keep away from the screen and do not hit against the outer wall. Hatching is almost 100% and the hatching period is temperature dependent and varies between 6 to 20 hours. Although the resultant hatchling to remain in the hatching time for 3 to 4 days, after which they are sold or transferred to a nursery pond. We have to sprinkle KMNO4 solution intermittently on the water to reduce the siltation and microbial load. Suspend few coir ropes in the water column to remove the dead eggs and spawn which stick to the bristles of this coir. Clean and disinfect the tank thoroughly with KMNO4 solution which is around 5 ppm after each cycle. So let us learn about the merits and demerits of Chinese carp hatchery. Merits. Adaptable to very large scale operation, it provides aspects of riverine environment and hatching is very efficient and water quality can be controlled. Coming to demerits, we requires a large quantity of water. Separation of eggshells from hatching is cumbersome process and the repair of the hatchery is difficult and it is very expensive to install. In this image, we can see a Chinese type of circular hatching tank with the inner chamber covered with a nylon netting and a battery of circular hatching tanks in operation in these sides. So on the left side we can see this nylon fitting and the left side circular hatching tanks all are in operation process. Students, let us learn about an innovative hatchery called Portable FRP Hatchery. Breeding and hatching of carps are undertaken traditionally using bunds, hepas and recently by cement circular hatcheries. Once installed, the cemented structured hatcheries cannot be shifted from place to place. The innovation of portable FRP carp hatchery is adding a feather to the blue revolution in the country by producing fish seed at the farmer's field. The transportation of seed from different far off places to the farm site involving substantial cost is getting reduced by introduction of this hatchery. Carp hatchery fully made up of fiber, glass, reinforced plastic. So that is fiberglass reinforced plastic that is called FRP plastic has been suitably designed and developed by CIFA Bhubaneswar, that is Central Institute of Freshwater Aquaculture, in 2006 and later on it is modified in 2013. It is very environmentally suitable for fish breeding in field conditions and it can hold around 20 to 25 kg carp in one operation, that is male to female ratio. And it can in one run it can hold around 1 to 1 million eggs. Coming to the merits of this hatchery, it is portable and easy to use, low water consumption, easy to repair and requires very less space. In this image, we can see the components of FRP hatchery. The breeding and spawning pool, hatching and incubation pool, egg and spawn collection chamber, overhead storage tank and water supply are the main components. So this is the FRP hatchery, that is the portable hatchery, which is an innovative practice. Let us see the conclusion. Hatchery is the most important aspect of overall seed production activity, needing utmost care and consideration. Minor fault and negligence in any of the issues may cause heavy loss in the hatchery business. Hatchery operation and management is very sensitive to low survivability of fry and fingerlings. By providing proper design and facilities, we can increase the production of fish. Hatchery systems in fishing breed meet the need for fish spawn in expanding carp farming activity. Students, through this video lesson, we have learnt about what is a hatchery, about the history and the importance of hatchery, and what are the necessary considerations to be taken while setting up the hatchery. And we have learnt different types of hatcheries like earthen pot hatchery, hatching hepas, floating hepas, FRP hatchery and Chinese circular hatchery in detail through this video.